What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Horror. This is Ethan Horror, and today we're going to give you guys my updated 2024 horror movie collection. Because I did it for 2022 and 2023. And as you can see, I now have 2 bookshelves. So we have a lot more than we did last year. And another thing, at the end, we will compare the number to what I had last year and see how many I gained. So, let's get right into it. Alright, so here we go with the first shelf. We have a crap ton of movies, so let's just go through. 28 weeks later. Still don't have 28 days later, but when I get it, I'll watch this movie. You'll notice a lot of movies that I have, I bought because they were cheap, and I'll eventually watch them. But like I just bought them because they were really cheap at like a garage sale or something, or at like the bins at Walmart. So I bought them because they were really cheap. And I haven't watched them, because a lot of the times when I really want to watch a movie, I'll buy it off, like, Amazon or something. But, so there's a lot of them. Most of them are DVDs. Alien 6-pack. This is Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant. I enjoyed the first 2, and Prometheus. Not a fan of the other 3. And then we have the Alien vs. Predator movies. So we got all Alien movies. Just gotta work on the Predator ones. American Horror Story, this is Asylum, Season 2. Don't have the first season, don't have any other season. I'll probably want to watch American Horror Story eventually, but I bought it because it was really cheap. Do you know how much, like, seasons of shows are, like, $30 now? Like, I was trying to buy The Walking Dead, and it was, like, $30 for Season 11. But this, $2. So, I thought that that was a pretty good deal. And if not, it was $2, so... Amityville Horror Double Take. This is the original and the Ryan Reynolds remake. I should probably get a little closer so you can see these movies. Amityville Horror. I like the remake. The original is... It's kind of bad, honestly. Speaking of bad, Annabelle. We got the original. Creation, which is good. And Annabelle Comes Home, which is mediocre. Annihilation. Bought it for, because someone recommended it to me. I think I might have saw it on, like, Dead Meat or something. I get a lot of my horror movie stuff from Dead Meat, so go check him out. He's a great horror YouTube. Well, I guess if you're watching mine, you probably know who Dead Meat is. But yeah, he said that this was really good, pretty scary, so I bought it, and I have not checked it out yet. I can tell this story 1,000 times, as above, so below. First horror movie I ever watched. But not the one that made me a horror fan. We'll talk about that one coming a little bit. Not necessarily horror, but Beetlejuice. It's Halloween enough. Just let it go. I do have it on 4K because it was either 4K or DVD, and the movies that I care about, I try to buy better quality copies of. So, like Black Christmas. Black Christmas is one of the best slasher movies. One of the first slasher movies. Black Phone. Probably my favorite horror movie of 2022. Black Swan. Bought it for really cheap. Heard it was really good. Won some Oscars, so I don't know, but I haven't seen it yet, so it not really interests me, but I have it in my collection if I ever want to. I don't know if this is necessarily horror, but we have the Blade trilogy. It's horror enough. It's vampires. I haven't watched any of these, but probably should. Maybe I'll sit down and watch the whole Blade trilogy one of these days. Blair Witch, the original, which is great. Second one, which I think is actually a really good movie, and the remake. Remake's fine, but really, if you haven't seen Blair Witch 2, give it a shot. I know a lot of people talk bad about it, they hate it, but I loved it. I thought it was actually great. If you just take it as its own movie and not as a Blair Witch sequel, it's actually a pretty good movie. It's kind of like Halloween 3, where if you just don't associate it with the rest of the franchise, it's pretty good. It's one of my favorite horror movies. Like, that's how much I like it, but, you know, maybe you'll get some enjoyment out of it. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. One that I should probably get on Blu-ray because I love Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. This is one of my favorite horror comedies. Cabin in the Woods. Just recently picked this one up. This is another great horror comedy. Kind of like a dark comedy, but it's still pretty good. It's got Chris Hemsworth in it, so Thor's in it. Candyman 2-pack. This is the original and the remake. I don't have the sequels. I've never seen the sequels. Probably won't watch them for a while. But the first one is good. One of the best slashers ever. And the remake is... It's a remake. It's not great. I know a lot of people liked it, but I didn't. Carrie 3-pack. This is Carrie the Rage Carrie 2 and Carrie 2002. And then this one is what I had before, is Carrie and Carrie 2013. So, even though it's the same movie, I have Carrie twice, so I'll count that as 2 on the counter. But, yeah, I had this one first, but then I wanted the rest of them, so I bought this, and there isn't just... And there might actually be a 2-pack with just the Rage Carrie 2 and Carrie 2002, but, you know, it's fine. Carrie, one of my favorite horror movies, so... Chucky movies, this is all... 7, the first 3, Bride, Seed, Cursed Cult, and I do have the remake separately because it didn't come with the set. Just strangely, like these sets like this, they didn't come with the remake because I have a Nightmare on Elm Street one over here somewhere. It also didn't come with the remake, so I had to buy that separately. Honestly, I could go without the remake. It's probably my least favorite Child's Play movie. Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and the Cloverfield Paradox. I bought the first Cloverfield, I loved it, and so I bought the 2 sequels, and I have yet to watch them. I just got them on, like, January 3rd, so I've had them for, like, 5 days, literally. This one is a little bit damaged, probably from shipping, because they don't give a crap about any of the packages that you order. The Collector. Forgot I had this movie. I've been wanting to watch this one. I haven't watched it yet, but, I do have it, so I'll buy that one. We'll watch that one eventually, and probably buy the collection because that is the sequel to it. Oh, Conjuring. Conjuring is one of my favorite horror movies, so I need to buy it on Blu-ray, but the second one I already have on Blu-ray, and it's also great. They're both great. Probably the 2 best Conjuring universe movies. Annabelle Creation's probably like 3rd, but yeah, I don't have the 3rd one, and I'm not in any rush to get it because it sucks. Back at the Beetlejuice thing. Coraline, kids horror movie, but horror enough. First box set, we have the Critters box set. This is the 4 movies. It does not have the remake. I'm noticing a trend. These sets not having the remake. Cry_Wolf. Saw that Dead Meat did a podcast episode about it, so I bought it because it was really cheap, and I intended to watch it because I could listen to the podcast. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Curse of La Llorona, the most mediocre movie you'll ever watch, and The Descent, great movie. Disturbia, very basic little slasher. It's fine. Don't Breathe and Don't Breathe 2. Don't Breathe is great. Don't Breathe 2 is horrible. Bram Stoker's Dracula, it's fine. Joking, I haven't watched this movie yet. It's like got Oscars, I think, and it's on my top 100 movies poster, so I do need to watch it so I can scratch that off. But one that I definitely need to finish is the Evil Dead franchise, because I only have 2, and it's Army of Darkness and Evil Dead. The remake. The remake is great. I've only seen the original and the remake, and I think the remake's better than the original, but don't tell Evil Dead fans that. I haven't seen the second one, which is what I think they claim to be the best one, so who knows. Exorcism of Emily Rose. Bought it because it was really cheap. I've not watched it. The Exorcist. I have, like, just random Exorcist movies. The Exorcist, the original, which is kind of falling apart, so probably need to buy a better copy, maybe a Blu-ray. Exorcist 3, which I've heard is pretty good. Don't have Exorcist 2. And then I have Exorcist the Beginning. I don't have Dominion or the new one, Believer, whatever it's called. Final Destination 5-pack. This is all 5 movies, and then I have this extra copy of Final Destination 3 because it's got the create your own movie where you can pick how the characters die or if they live or not. So, Frankenstein. I'm working on getting a Universal Monster Movie box set with all of them, so I will have no need for this eventually. Kind of like Psycho, which I had a DVD for? Yeah. Wait, I think it's over here. Psycho, where I got the set, and then I have no need for this random DVD, so. Freaky. Probably my second favorite horror comedy. And then we have my favorite thing that I own in my collection. Big Friday the 13th box set. I love the art on this box set, first of all, and second of all, it has all 12 movies in it. This was great when I finally got the box set. I could just binge watch all 12, and I could say safely this is my favorite horror franchise ever. You know, it's close with Paranormal Activity, which I have over there, but this is definitely my favorite. And Freddy vs. Jason was the movie that got me into being a horror fan, so I owe all this to that movie. So Get Out, probably my second favorite Jordan Peele movie. Gremlins 2, The New Batch. I do have the original Gremlins. It's just that my parents have it, so it's not in my collection. So maybe I'll buy my own copy on like Blu-ray or something. But otherwise, I do have it. But I do have this one. So The Grudge and The Grudge 2. Bought them both because they were cheap. I don't have any intent to watch these anytime soon. I think there's a third one and then a remake, which is, I've heard, horrible, but, the rest of these are all Halloween movies, because I decided to be dumb and not buy the box set. So we got Halloween 1 and 2018, Halloween 2 and 3, and then 4, 5, and then this box set is 6, H2O, and Resurrection. Rob Zombie's Halloween, unrated director's cut. Then we got Halloween, the theatrical edition, and then the, I don't know, they're different. Both Rob Zombie and Rob Zombie 2. And then we have Halloween Kills. I do need Halloween Ends, but not in any rush. Happy Death Day, Dilogy. These are great. I like both these movies. Definitely the first one a little bit more than the second one, but they're both great. Haunting in Connecticut. Bought it because it was cheap. Haven't watched it. Hellraiser 1 and 2, and Hellraiser 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had this one before I had these two because I thought that this was it's a 6-pack on the top, so I assumed it was 1 through 6. No, it's 3 through 8, so had to buy this as well. I've only seen the first one, and I don't know if I want to watch any of the other ones because I did not like the first one. I know it's a classic and everybody likes it, but I didn't. Hereditary. This one I loved. Why is it so scratched up? What the heck? Oh, I know why. I'll talk about it in a second. One of my favorite horror movies of all time. Probably top 5. Hills Have Eyes and Hills Have Eyes 2. These are the remakes. Everybody in my life tells me, mainly my parents, tells me that this is the scariest movie I ever made. I haven't watched it yet, so, I don't think it will be, but, you know, maybe it'll give Sinister a run for its money. This is why that's all scratched up, because of these stupid cases with these little flip backs here and the sharp edges. Yeah, try jamming a movie in there. These are the worst movie cases, but I continue to buy them because I'll find a movie for cheap and I'll just buy it. But guess what? This happens when you want to put another movie right next to it. It hits that thing in there, and look at that, sticks out a little bit further, and then guess what happens when you're like, oh, why is it sticking out? And you go like this. What happened to Hereditary? That's what happens. Host. Great movie. Another found footage movie, kind of like Unfriended, takes place on a Zoom call. We have the Firefly trilogy. All completed now. I think I had just the original in the last one, then I had this one for a while. And now I have Devil's Rejects too, so I need to watch these ones. House of a Thousand Corpses is, something. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's, interesting. House of Wax, the remake with Paris Hilton. Not as bad as people make it out to be. Still not great, but it's not that bad. House on Haunted Hill. Bought it because it was cheap. It was cheap and like still factory sealed, so I had to buy that one. I have not watched it yet. So, The Hunt, actually a really good movie. It's just kind of a little action horror flick. It's probably more action than horror, but it's horror enough that I could put it in my collection. It's my collection. I make the rules, okay? I don't know why I have it, but I do. Ice Cream Man and Jack Frost 2. Never probably gonna ever watch these two, but we got them if we want to. Idle Hands, very underrated horror comedy. Go check this one out. It's a 1999 horror comedy with David Sawa, Seth Green, where his hand is possessed, and I think it's actually a very good movie. Well, very good comedy, so not a great movie, just a good comedy. I Know You Did Last Summer trilogy. This is I Know What You Did Last Summer. I still know you did last summer, and I will always know what you did last summer. I recommend the first one. If you're gonna watch a sequel, watch I Still Know You Did Last Summer, but don't watch I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Don't watch it. Oh, sweet. Okay, we got Insidious. Oh crap, I'm dropping. Insidious. Insidious Chapter 2. Chapter 3. God dang it. Look, this is what happens when you order movies off Amazon. They come all cracked and crap. Insidious The Last Key on DVD. And the new one, Insidious The Red Door. I've only seen the first two. The first one's great. The second one is not so great. But, probably do an Insidious ranking, I guess. Invisible Man, don't have the original, but the remake is great. It, 1990, as well as It, 2017, and It, Chapter 2. This one, I'd say, is a little bit closer to the original book, which I have read. But this one is way better. It, 2017 is great. It, Chapter 2 is decent. Probably my least favorite, but yeah. If you guys don't know, It, 2017 is my favorite horror movie of all time, and my second favorite movie of all time, so... Jacob's Ladder. Heard this movie was good from my dad. And it's on my top 100 horror movie poster, so eventually I'll need to watch it. But I bought it for it was really cheap, and it was on my poster, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'll buy it. I probably won't watch it. Definitely need to get this one on Blu-ray. We got Jaws, and then we have the Jaws sequels, which are on Blu-ray. Because I was at the dollar store, and I found this. It's Jaws 2, 3, and 4. The DVD was more expensive than the Blu-ray, so... bought the Blu-ray for what it's worth. None of them are good. I don't have the original one, which is the only one I've seen. And I don't have the new one, but I have Jeepers Creepers 2 and 3. You'll probably never hear me talk about these movies on the channel. If you know, you know. I just probably won't talk about them. Jennifer's Body, really good, underrated. Krampus, also kind of cheesy. Actually, no, this one's actually played really seriously. I forgot about that. My go-to Christmas horror movie. Even though Black Christmas is definitely better, that's the one I watch every year. Last House on the Left. This might be the remake, or like a, I don't know. Last House on the Left. I had bought it because it was cheap. I haven't watched it. So, Last Night in Soho. I bought this with Bodies, 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 and what was the other one I bought? Nope, and The Forever Purge. That was what I bought on Black Friday. And this is the only one I haven't watched, which, I've heard is pretty good, so I probably should get to watching that. I got all 8 of them. You will get a ranking of these, eventually. I've seen the first 3, I've seen the 2 in the Hood movies, and I've seen Leprechaun Returns. I need to see Leprechaun 4 and Leprechaun Origins for the last 2. Lighthouse. Not a huge fan of A24 movies. Haven't watched this one yet, so I do need to watch a bunch of the A24 movies. I've seen Hereditary and X, and I think those are the only ones. Midsommar probably be the next one I watch, but I've heard this one's really good, so maybe I'll watch this one. The Lost Boys, great 80s horror movie. be honest. Ma, really underrated movie. Go check this one out. It's a love it or hate it movie, but you know, I loved it. I thought it was pretty good. Don't watch it. Don't. Just. I know some people think it's good. It is the literal movie equivalent of a fever dream. Doesn't make sense whatsoever. Period. At all. But then Nicolas Cage goes and kills a bunch of people. It's pretty much the whole movie. Megan. Maybe my favorite horror movie of last year. Between this and Saw X. I loved Megan. And that's the first shelf. Midsommar, as I said. Haven't watched it. Misery. Good Stephen King movie. Not one of my favorites, but very good. I think it made my top 10 Stephen King adaptation list. This one definitely did. The Mist. Another great Stephen King movie. Mortal Kombat. This is a 3-pack. Because apparently it has a TV movie called The Mortal Kombat Legacy. This is the first one, and Annihilation, and then Mortal Kombat Legacy. I don't care if you don't think they're horror. The games are horror, so the movies are slightly horror. But I put them in. And then the remake, which I think is good. The remake is very good. Mummy Collector's Edition, but we could just put that down there, because we got the Mummy Trilogy. Mummy Returns, and Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Empire. I've only seen the first one. Night of the Living Dead. Great zombie movie, one of the first. Dawn of the Dead. This is not the original, this is the remake. I don't have the original yet, but I'll get it eventually because I really want to watch that. But the remake is also very good. Nightmare on Elm Street did not come with the remake. This is all 8, including Freddy vs. Jason, and then the remake. I, for a while, didn't even bother buying the remake, but I saw it for cheap, and I was like, sure. Nope. Maybe my least favorite, Jordan Peele, but he's only made 3, so it's still a great movie. Like, saying it's my least favorite means, like, it's not as good as Get Out and Us. None. Very, very, very boring. Old. I think this movie gets too much hate. I'm not saying it's incredible. I'm just saying I personally really like that movie. The Omen. This is probably my biggest horror hot take besides loving Book of Shadows. I don't like The Omen. Orphan. This one I love. This is one of my favorite horror movies ever. This is a respectable follow-up. Oh, as I said, my second favorite horror movie franchise, Paranormal Activity. The reason that I fell in love with this franchise is pure chance. I bought this because it was $1, and I was like, oh my god, for 6 movies, you're gonna... It was at a garage sale, so I was like, oh my god, 6 movies for $1? Obviously, I'm gonna buy that. And literally, I brought up 3 random movies to my mom, and I was like, alright, which one are we gonna watch? She's like, Paranormal Activity. And I was like, alright, cool. We'll just throw it in. Fell in love. And I was like, alright, cool. We're watching all 6 of them. And they are so fun. So I had to buy box set with all 7. Yes, I know that's a different case. I don't know why. That's how it came. And it makes a little handprint, so it's pretty cool. And this one actually has Next of Kin in it. The other one only had the original 6. And it has Unknown Dimension, which is a documentary about it. I love the first 5. Ghost Dimension's alright, and Next of Kin is a disgrace to the Paranormal Activity name because it has absolutely nothing to do with the story. Movie. Pet Sematary 2, and Pet Sematary Remake. None of these are good. Phantasm 5-film set. This one I do. Oh my god, look at this. Look at that. You see all that ripping? This is when you get things shipped from Amazon. I haven't seen any of these yet, but I'll probably sit down and binge these, because I've heard at least the first 2 are really good. Phantom of the Opera. One of the 40 adaptations they have of this movie. I have zero intent to watch this, but I found it for $0.25. So, I guess, adds to the collection. Then we got the Poltergeist movies, the original, 2 and 3, the remake. I've only seen the first one. I've heard the other ones aren't even worthwhile, but I'll probably watch them eventually. Predators and Prey. My dad actually loves the first 2 Predator movies, like, loves them. So, he already had them, so they're up with his movies, so I don't have the need to buy the first 2, so I just need The Predator, and we got the whole collection. Prom Night. This is the remake, I think? Bought it because it was cheap. Never watched it. Psycho Complete Collection. You saw I had the DVD, but I got this new collection. This is the original and the 3 sequels, and I do not need the remake because guess what? It's the same movie as the original. Purge. One of the few horror franchises that I have completely on Blu-ray. So, I've seen the first 2. Purge. The first Purge is fine. Well, I guess I shouldn't say the first Purge, because this movie is called The First Purge, and this is the first Purge movie. The Purge is good. Purge Anarchy is my favorite of the ones that I've seen, and then the Forever Purge is incredibly mid. 2 Quiet Place movies. First Quiet Place is great. Second one is... it's a movie. I mean, I guess it's a worthy follow-up, but it's not great. It's my favorite horror comedy ever. Ready or not, please go check this out. I'm assuming this is a sequel. No, these are the ones that are actually called The Return of the Living Dead. This is the first movie. I bought it because it was really cheap, never watched it. Funny story with this one. We have the original Ring. We have the Ring 2. We do not have the Ring 3. Probably like, oh, that says Rings. You do have it. This is not the 2017 Ring movie. This is called Rings. Circle of Fear is growing. Guess what? I was at a garage sale. I was like, oh, sweet! The 3rd Ring movie. I've been needing the 3rd Ring movie. This is a short film. We have special editions of the first 2 Saw movies, so got that going. And then we have the 8-pack of the Saw movies, which this was really helpful when I went on a road trip. I watched them all. But unfortunately, I did not take Spiral with, so I didn't get to watch that one too, but Spiral's pretty good. And then Saw X did not come out during the road trip, so I didn't have a chance to bring it with. But, one of my favorite movies of last year, possibly my favorite horror movie, tied with Megan. Scary movie, oh, we have a lot of them. Forgot about that. We got a lot of scary movies. We got 4. Which one are we missing? We're missing 2. That's the best one, too. Scary Movie 1, 3, 4, and 5 I have not watched, but, yeah, I definitely need Scary Movie 2, because that's the best one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Scream's great. Don't really care for 2 or 3. The rest of them I like. See No Evil, bought it for cheap, never watched it. Shaun of the Dead, great horror comedy, one of the best. The Shining, one of the greatest horror movies. Dr. Sleep, pretty good movie. Shutter Island, I don't know, this is probably just a thriller. I don't even know if you can say this is horror. But, got it. Mines, you know, it's great. M. Night Shyamalan. Please give it a try. Please just give it a shot. Bought it because I love Elizabeth Olsen. She's one of my favorite actresses. Scarlet Witch is my favorite character in fiction, so that's why there's so many Funko Pops of her on the set. But please go check this one out. It's her first movie. It's very low budget. I understand if you don't like it. This has a 0% on CinemaScore. That is a crime. You can't change it now, but it does have 0. But I love this movie. Sinister, scariest movie ever made. Sinister 2, the most unnecessary movie ever. Well, maybe not the most unnecessary movie ever made, but definitely a horrible follow-up. Sleepy Hollow, pretty underrated. Smile. Actually really scary. You'd think it's cheesy. It's really good. Pet Sematary. Oh, this is just a Stephen King collection. 4 movies. It's got Pet Sematary, The Dead Zone, Silver Bullet, and Graveyard Shift. The only one I'd watch is Silver Bullet, because that's the only one I've heard is good. But Pet Sematary I do obviously have this separately. So Strangers, ooh, and The Strangers Prey at Night. Not a huge fan of the first Strangers. Haven't seen the second one yet. More Tim Burton. Sweeney Todd. I love Tim Burton movies. This is great Johnny Depp. It's a horror musical, so interesting. Oh my god, I only have 3 Texas Chainsaw movies? I call myself a horror collector. Obviously I have the original, but I don't have 2, 3, or 4. I have Texas Chainsaw the remake. This is from 2003, because there's like 5 remakes. I don't have the beginning, but I do have Texas Chainsaw 3D. The Thing, one of the greatest horror movies ever made, and The Thing prequel, which takes every reason why we love the original, and why it's hailed as one of the best horror movies ever, and tells you to go f*** yourself and doesn't do any of it. Thank you for using CGI on the greatest practical effects of all time. 13 Ghosts, another one with that stupid case. This is, I think, a remake of it. Trick or Treat, one of my favorite horror movies ever. I say horror, but Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. Split's definitely horror, but Unbreakable and Glass got the whole trilogy. Unfriended, great. Unfriended Dark Web, also great. Unhinged, bought it because it was cheap. Urban Legend, another kind of Scream era movie. It's pretty good. Us, my favorite Jordan Peele movie, because it is the scariest Jordan Peele movie in my opinion. Witch, Walking Dead. I only have 4 seasons so far. We have season 1, 2, 3, and 4. Working on getting the rest, but I can watch it on Netflix, so I'm not in any rush. The Watcher, haven't watched it. When a Stranger Calls, and I did last summer. I basically bought it just for When a Stranger Calls. Don't watch this movie. You actually want to watch it, something more interesting, go paint an entire wall white, and then record it for about 2 hours, pop that thing in a DVD player. You got a way more interesting movie than this. The Wicker Man, Nicolas Cage remake, not the original. No, got a lot of Nicolas Cage. Alice Wonderland, also haven't seen that one. Me and my friend, Lyric, seen him in a couple videos, like to watch stupid movies. This is a stupid movie that I bought for us to watch, and wasn't the fun movie we were expecting. It was very dark, not good. We have the Wishmaster and Wishmaster 2. I've never seen Wishmaster 2, Wishmaster 1. Underrated. Man, as I said, probably going to buy a Universal Monster movie collection. I have Wrong Turn and the Wrong Turn remake, because I'm not going to watch the sequels. X, you're next. One of my favorite slashers ever. Zombieland, a movie that tries way too hard to be funny and falls flat on its face. I know a lot of people like this movie. That's the last movie in my collection. I don't have Zombieland Double Tap. So, those are all my horror movies. Here's the total number. I'll react to it in a minute here. Actually, yeah, we'll just react to it. I'll cut to the reaction right now. So, during year 1 of the channel, I had 143 movies in my horror collection. By year 2, 2023, I had 183, so that increased by 40. But this year, I had 318, meaning that over the span of 2023, I bought 135 movies. So that's a huge increase, and it'll probably keep growing. By next year, we'll probably have 400. That's my goal. But let's get back to the video. Remember, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hit like so you can see more videos like it. Otherwise, hit subscribe and hit the bell so you want to be notified when I post any brand new videos. Otherwise, if you're a horror fan, go down to my channel, click on it, go find another video in there. I'm sure there'll be another something in there that you'll enjoy. And until next time, comment down below some more video ideas for me to do. And until next time, this has been Ethan Horror, and this is my 2024 updated horror movie collection. See ya.